Thank you so much. Welcome at Dickens live streaming. Siku ya leo tunashukuru Mungu. It's another day. We thank God because today is on 5th June. And we are here live from Seattle. Tawira Seattle ni erbago ni genin. It's another molo, small molo. And with us, tunashukuru kwa sababu tuko na guest wa haja sana siku ya leo. Na tutadua kwa hivyo karibuni sana wale ambao wametukojea. Najua ya kwamba wengi wamegojea show yetu. Nimepata comments nyingi sana. So kama uko pale utainua mkono uniambie niko hapa. We are going to say hi to you. Because we have our guest today who's going to give us a true life story ya maisha yake. So I don't know kama mitambo yetu iko sawa kabisa. Upande wetu naona iko sawa, inaendelea vizuri. Na tunashukuru Mungu kwa sababu ni siku njema. Daktari, uko hapa kwa idiadu kama idara ya gemaigire?
All right. Thank you, Mr. Cairo. Niwega ni tondu wa ku-invite goka show ino. Thank you ni tondu wa ona kumenyana nawe. So it's been a gracious moment. So I thank God. Otherwise ni ndageithia muthikiriria wothe handu haria ari. Ndina ngatho na gikeno ni tondu wa gukorwo haha. Ona ni tondu wa gukorwo tukiaraniria nawe. Only God knows where we are going from here. And then nitokwaraniria tukimenye tukurikiria. Thank you.
Thank you so much. With us is Dr. Rusi. Tutamjua tu kama uko pale, inua mkono tujue uko wapi, nawekea watu link kwanza ili wengine wale wako kwa WhatsApp waweze kufuata, wajue Dr. Rusi ni nani. Kwa sababu Dr. Rusi kuna mtu aliniambia, give me the link, I want to hear this story. So thank God because most of the people are really waiting to hear from you. Wajue ya kwamba how comes mtu ambaye ni Tailor, fundi wangu wa sharahani Kenya, anaweza kuwaje daktari? So we know, kaa pale, uliza swali lenye ungetaka kuuliza, and we are trusting God ya kwamba utaweza kupata yote. Najua kwamba utaweza kutufuatilia. Now daktari, where do you come from, especially Kenya? Kiambu, umetoka wapi? Where do you come from?
Ndina turugano twiri mwena ucio. I was born and raised in Vika, Makuyu, Kirathani. A small village, a very small village that I tease my kids and I tell them that it is not in the map yet. And then later on, I went to school in the same area, Matilico Primary School. And then I was when I was married, that's when I moved to Roiro, Kiambu, Kiambu Kamunyaka. That's where we resided with my husband for a few years before we transitioned.
You mean there is a place called Kiamunyaka in Kenya because watu wengi hawajui Kiamunyaka. Hebu eleze Kiamunyaka ni wapi?
Well, I think the name comes with me. I think it means what it says. Kamunyaka is in Gatundu North.
Yeah.
South. I don't even know if it's Gatundu North or something South. Forgive me for that. But it is on your Vika flyover road, past Kamwagi, all the way up to Mashani Makwagena. So many people are familiar with Mashani Makwagena. That little village, the little village, Kamunyaka village, is by Gakoe. And next to Mashani Makwagena.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So that is where you are married. Now you want to tell us now you are married. Tell us about your wacha tuanze mahali ulianza. Where did you start from? Who is Dr. Rusi? Because who is Rusi? Who is Rusi?
Oh yeah.
Yourself calling yourself Wajiro. Who is one?
That's a good place to start. Actually, I better go by Wajiro than Lucy, but that's good. As I said, I was born and raised by very humble parents back in Kirathani. Yeah. Kirathani is also unknown, seriously. It's just now probably, I don't even know if it's known yet, but it is one little village in Idhaga, Makuyu. It used to be Makuyu division, but now I think it's Thika something with all the changes. So that was sometimes back,
Yeah.
almost over half a decade. My mom had a very traumatic life. Based on, I'm just going to say that in short. My mom was born at night and her mother died the following morning.
Yeah.
So she was raised in a very hectic way, if we may call it, by other mothers and other siblings, other step siblings.
Yeah.
And so her life was full of trauma and a lot of trouble. And we know that because I'm a last born in a family of 9. Yet I knew her story like I was the firstborn, meaning she was keen and present to her story in such that she told everybody to the detail of what happened. That's why I know her that much.
Yeah.
The only problem with that is when we raise children, and we'll talk about these things, when we raise children, when we are absent or present in our trauma, we inflict our kids with all these traumas, but we don't know that. So my life was, I was raised with a mother who was present physically, but mostly absent because she was with her trauma. She was dealing with her traumas. And so that brought a lot of trauma to me in the process, or rather to the family in the process. Went to school in Matiliko Primary School, where I'm very short. I've always been. And in the process, I was bullied so much for being small.
You are short.
I didn't.
That means you are a short woman.
Right. I'm short, right. And I was short. I was a very short kid compared to the others that I was in the same grade level with. And so being small told the others or gave the others a right to be mean or rude or whatever. I didn't even know it was bullying until I came to America and understood, oh, that was bullying. So I just knew to kind of hide myself or stay to myself at a very young age, or rather start to put effort in trying to be somebody, because everybody around me is trying to show me I am not anybody.
You are not. They're trying to tell you are nothing.
They are trying to send me a message, but something deep in me, and we're gonna go to that, is telling me no. So I ended up putting a lot of effort in what I was doing. So when the grades came out, I always beat them.
Wow.
In class, I always beat them. And that kind of gave me the assurance. I am not that who you think I am. So fast forward, went to high school in Mogoiri Girls.
Mogoiri Girls, okay.
Mogoiri Girls High School is in Kamahoha, Muranga, some place in Muranga. Graduated sometimes in 1992. I wanted so much to go to the Utalii College. Something in me had a dream to become, or to, I don't know where I got that, but something in me wanted to work with white people. And so that's part of why it had to be Utalii College or nothing else. So in the process, I went and did an interview. Seriously, I applied for, I wanted to do one of the hotel management courses. And I went and did an interview, but of course I could not, I didn't make it. Then there were some issues that made it not. And in the process of pursuing the Utalii College, I wasted my chance of going to the university. But then when it's your path, it is your path. And that's when I became a tailor.
Yeah.
Self-taught more so, if anything. And in 1992, after graduating in 1993, I was working in Thika as a dress seamstress, or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. 1993, that's when you started you became a tailor in 1993.
I became a tailor in 1993.
By the way, mom, kuna mtu alikuwa ananiuliza kwa posta. Msichana ni wa wapi? I think he's listening ajia kwamba 1993, that is when you graduated. You became a tailor in 1993. Okay, let's go. Yeah.
Right. And so from 1993,
yeah,
a few things happened, and I changed my job, and I became an accountant in one of the wholesales in Thika. After which I went back to being the seamstress. I think that was meant to be. I went back to being the seamstress. And who knows how I ended up in Kamonyaka? Only God knows. Yeah. And again, when it's your path, it is your path. I say life will always present to you your next test, because you need to pass that and move on. Yeah. So life will always bring people and circumstances to your life, which are going to help you in your path, because you're supposed to pass that test and move on. So is that how Kamonyaka came in my way? I don't know, but I look back now and that's what I see. So somehow my husband, my now husband, who I met sometimes back in church, I come from the Church of God. Back there. So it's just by the grace of God that it worked the way it worked. And I went to Kamonyaka. I could not get a job. I was going there because somebody somewhere needed a fundi, and I could not even start that job, which made me go back to Thika, and then go back when I had gained some capital. I went back to a small village called Chege, where I started my own sewing business. I started my own tailoring job. And fast forward from that, in 1997, I moved to Limuru, transitioned with my my tailoring job, and started it again there in Limuru. I moved several times, which I got married in 1998, in December 1998, to Suleiman Kamau, which probably we are going to meet later on. I don't know. But after I got married in 1998, what's so amazing in this story is that I moved everywhere. All those times I moved, I was moving with my high school books. I saved some high school books because there was something in me that knew I was not done with school. I don't know what that meant. The high school books could not have helped me because, of course, I was not going back to high school. But there were a symbol in my life that, yes, you're not done with school and you're going to go back to school. I had no idea. So, so when I, of course, got married, I relocated to Kamonyaka now full time. And kind of I almost saw that as the death of my school dream. Because when you got married, I mean, I never saw people going to school when they were married. I mean,
Yes.
in the village, that was it. So there was no hope. It was all gone. Until 2000, and I think it was late 2000 or early 2001. I won the green card lottery.
Wow.
Yeah, and we got a chance to come to the US. So I think, I don't know whether you have any questions up to that point.
Yeah. Okay, now kuna watu ambao wako pamoja nasi. We have people who are with us. Let us acknowledge them. We have Mary Njogona. Mary Njogona comes from Boston but lives now in Elbagon. Anasema anafuata. We have somebody called Dr. Kenyanjui. He calls himself Dr. Kariuki Kenyanjui. Mesopotamia, he's asking, hey, kumbe fundi wangu anajua kuongea Kizungu. That's a good one. We have Lecho Kagodo and Ben Asema. That's my sister. She's following. I think we can proceed. We can proceed. Because I don't want to cut the story.
Okay. All right. I'm going to mention something because we are talking about who is Lucy, or rather who is 10. I mentioned that I got bullied in elementary school, but all along, when I was about to I think it's when I got married, very early on in my marriage, my husband told me something.
Yes.
He told me there was several issues with the village people, with my getting married, or rather they had a problem with his choice of a wife.
Wow.
And I never knew why, and he did not even give details, and I'm glad he didn't.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
Now you are, and your husband tells you this village of ours did not want me to marry you. Something like that.
There were some people in the village who had a big problem with the choice of a wife he got.
Yes.
Yes. To the extent some of them had even attempted to even point out why not so and so.
Okay.
What he told me was his answer to them. His house, or the house he had built for his family, his wife, his family, is was at a hill by itself. Where that is where his dad gave him a share of the land.
Yes. And
so he told me his reply to whoever had issues was, Neurona haria muda wa fafa o wakwori. Neurona nyumba yakwa harieri.
Recording in progress.
Mutumia ucio kuu nikuo egũka na nikuo gwake.
Okay.
Angigoka kumuhoya cumbi mutikana muhe. As in, I didn't understand why that had to be that detailed, you know?
Yeah.
As in, it spoke like somebody was gonna be so miserable, in a lot of trouble, and they'll be like begging in the village or something. So my husband is like assuring me or assuring him, we got this. We got this. And I'm so glad he did not give me the details.
Yes.
Even though, flash forward 22 years in our marriage, somebody breaks the silence and tells me the reason why there were so many problems. And the so many problems were because I come from a very poor family and from a very poor village. That is why they had a problem with him marrying me.
Yes.
Couldn't you have found a better wife? Couldn't you have found a better woman from a better off place? You know? So anyway, so coming to America.
Yes.
Unfortunately, very fortunately or unfortunately,
yes,
the bullying took root. I was an adult, yes,
yes,
but there's a very big risk when you're helpless. You just relocated, and now you're helpless where you are because you know nobody.
Yes.
It's like you rely on handouts.
Yes.
You can't do anything on yourself. So 100% the bullying was back. And this time it was, again, it was somehow associated to the same reasons in the village. But again, here I am in America, in my long clothes and agitabaya. How do I think that I'm going to survive here? And the bullying was so bad. I remember one day, somebody who is so, it's like somebody in the family or very close to me. Yes. Openly face-to-face disowned me.
Wow. When you came to America?
I came in 2002, and in 2003, very early, a few months, somebody looked me in the eye and told me, never tell anybody that you know me.
Jesus.
And I did not just get disowned that day. That person happened to be my ride to work. I was left very far away, and I had to figure out, or a friend of mine, I didn't even know how to drive then. I didn't even know where I was, even if I had to try. I didn't even have a cell phone. Somebody had to sacrifice to make sure that I went back to my family that day. And from that day on, that marked the end of the bullying. That in my life, that marked, it caused so much pain that it caused a transition or a new start in my life.
Wow.
I had to be somebody different from that point on because of the pain that I got or I was inflicted in. Well, I didn't know that the bullying was going to continue, and it did until we were living by ourselves somewhere. I remember like many probably who've lived in America, our table and our chair was a water bucket. That's what we used in our living room. It was the chair and it was the table at the same time. And God is gracious. So I say that to say that like the name of your show, Storms of Life Are Not Permanent.
Yes.
There is only one problem when you are traumatized as a child. Life brings, it's like life knows to bring the same situations or most of the same situations in your life to see if you're going to pass the next test. It's like there's a test after a test after a test. The problem or the thing is, those who are bringing the test to you, it's not that they're your enemies. We label them. I didn't know that. I know that now. I labeled them also. I did that. But we label them as your enemies. Only the fact that life had to use somebody to take you to the next level.
Very true.
But we label those people as our enemies. We just don't know that they are taking us to the next level. You know, they are being used to take us to the next level. If they did not play a part in your life, who do you know you would be? I mean, But you needed that. You needed to go through that to become somebody else at that time.
Yes.
So flash forward, I got a job as a seamstress somewhere in the in the US.
Yeah.
And during that time, I made a decision to go back to school. Like the troubles were too much, and like my only way out was going back to school. And I was not going back to school to be somebody. I was going back to school to prove myself.
To the people who diminished you.
I was going back to school to prove myself. Now that's another problem of childhood trauma.
Yes.
Because when you have childhood trauma, you live somebody else's life.
Oh,
you
yeah.
don't
live a
live
life.
your own.
Yes.
You never ever live your life until you heal the childhood traumas. You are busy trying to be that which they think you're not, or something. That's when people who've been through childhood traumas choose different things. Some choose drugs to numb the pain. Some choose alcoholism to numb the pain. Some choose crazy. Some the pain is too much. They choose the rope.
To kill themselves.
They commit suicide.
Yeah.
To me, going back to school was my way to numb my pain.
Wow.
So school became so easy for me.
Yes.
They say school is hard. I don't think I know that.
Yes.
Why? Because the pain, the propelling power, I used to call it, the propelling power was too strong for me for school to be hard at all.
Wow.
So I prevailed through school, graduated with my first diploma with a 4.0. 4.0 is the highest you can get in an American college.
Wait a minute, doctor. Wait a minute. Somebody is asking, are you a medical doctor? And another question was, how old were you? Let's answer this first. How old were you when at that time you won the Rotary or the green card?
I came to America when I was 30. So I think I was 20. I think I was 28 or early 29.
Wow. I think that David Kings is a pastor, is a pastor in Joro sub-county. That's why he was asking, how old are you? Then there is another called Kenyanjui Daktari. He's asking, is she a medical doctor? That one I know the answer. Ask you what you enrolled.
I know there are many doctors, and everybody who has a doctorate has earned that title.
Yeah.
I am a doctor of nursing practice. I have a doctorate degree. I have the highest level degree a nurse can get. Wow. I worked and I'm licensed in United States as a family nurse practitioner.
I think here I'm a part of. We will come to that. Okay, continue.
Okay.
You enrolled diploma, yeah.
Sorry?
You enrolled to a diploma when you came now.
So right after I finished my diploma, I went back to school again, graduated 3.5 years after that with my Bachelor's of Science in Nursing, and worked a few years in five regional hospitals or 5 hospitals around where I was working as a float nurse. Excuse me. That is when the dream or the call to become a doctor was born. Wow. Because I realized that so many of the patients I was working with were inflicted with problems that we were not able to heal or cure. And I'm going to use those words because even though those words are almost not used in America.
Yeah.
So in my rotations, going to 5 hospitals in so many floors, I met the same patients, or most of the same patients, coming with different ailments.
Yeah.
Which all we did, or most of what we did, was give them pills and many pills, which never cured them. They came back with more diseases, and they came back with more problems, which all we did was add more pills. So, you know, we were acting as very good salesmen. But that's when my desire to become a doctor was born. And I chose to go back to school, in this case, to heal my patients. So when I went back to school, that was my calling. But early in the process, I found out that medicine is what is. It's a pill for every ill. And that's what they teach you. So everybody who's been through medicine school is taught how to address everything with a prescription pad. But I realized early on that that's not what I was looking for. And so I started doing research which born what I do today. And we'll talk about that later. So I'll let you go on with the questions.
Okay. Wow. The show is so nice. I think we are going well. We have Nancy Ngugi, who is watching. We have Ruth Kibe, who is also watching. We have Mary Njogona, who says, wow, Dr. Lucy, 4.0 GPA. Congratulations, she's so happy. There is a lady called Mama Winnie. She calls herself Uchi Wakosti. She says she's tuned. We have somebody called Kamau Jr. He said, Washington State well represented. Elmotech Farmers is watching. We have Lillian Wamboi, Ben Mushume, and we have Anli Miloyo. Anli Miloyo is one of the lady, is already in Nakuru. Ndio alinipea ticket ya kuja hapa US. She works with Creta Airlines. So Samson Joroge is nasema he's watching. We are looking for whether we have questions. And then there is somebody who was asking a question here. Yeah. Okay, somebody was answering. The guy I told you was called Mesopotamia. Dr. Kenyanjui said Mesopotamia, Jabbar already. The one who was asking, kana Tailor no arie githugu. Eligo achoka irio haherwa atiriri githugu kihana gikuyu neruga ta gikuyu.
Exactly.
So Dazin is also watching, and we have my friend called Ngogewa Mushai, and Asema is also watching. Now, Daktari, let's go back kidogo. Pare Kamonyaka. You got married to a man called Solomon or Suleiman.
Yes.
And somebody has asked Chege. And in that small village, most of the people doesn't know the village. How was life after high school and after Umekosa College in Kenya? How was that life? Was it good for you? Married and everybody was like, why did you marry this person?
I now know to take life as what is. So I can easily tell you it was what was. But you know, that is today. But it was not easy at all.
Yeah.
Even though my parents were farmers, I had participated in the farming, even though not fully. Yeah. So Kamonyaka, they are tea growers. They are well-known tea growers.
Yes.
And so when I went there, of course, the expectation for a wife is to kuchuna majani, right?
Yes.
I'm sorry. I remembered one day, I was in a whole line with everybody else trying to chuna majani. And little did I know, they were not leaving me behind. So I told myself I was doing good. But when I looked inside the basket where we put the majani, almost everyone else is full, but mine is not even a quarter. Oh, okay. So of course that disqualified me as the tea picker, right? And it kind of confirmed to some of the people who are concerned on the choice of the wife. Oh, you're not mashani de hota wotua.
And then you thought you were doing it.
Sorry?
So you thought that everything is going on well.
Well, that's what I thought. And that's actually why I went. If I knew I was going to embarrass myself, I wouldn't have gone. But, well, it was a family thing. So let's go do it. And I was busy doing it. But the person on the right was picking mine and the person on the left was picking mine. So I was not being left, you know, because they were doing it. But in the process, I have nothing in my basket. That's fine. So tried that several times and I was like, this is not working, not at all. So that is when, again, with the Tailor mentality and the Tailor course in my head, I went back to the Kabe and started a Tailor business. So the Tailor business would give me the money to pay the person to pick the tea.
Wow, that's lovely.
You have to use your mind when things happen.
Yes.
So that's what happened. So the life, so in that case, life, which was gonna be hard, became easier. And because my mashani, or rather Solomon, my Chege's mashani is not, you know, mashani matiakere kere irio, which probably was the hope of many people. And it kind of quietened some of the talk or something, you know. That's when me and Chege, we had our firstborn, James Kamau. And then that was in 1999, in October 1999. That's when we had our firstborn. Fast forward, early 2001 September, we had our second born. But when we had our second born, Lynette Wangari Chege, that's when we were getting ready to transition to come to the US.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, now somebody is asking me, Dr. how did you manage to juggle between tailoring job and studies in the USA? Because I think they did not get that you wanted to go to the Utari. Can you connect them? Why? How you were able to become a tailor? Why did you become a tailor at that time? Is it because there were no other jobs? Now you have answered something that to so
well, I was already a tailor before I got married. I was already running my business before I got married.
Yes, that means after you missed to enroll in Utari College.
After Utari College could not accept me.
Yes.
Main reason being, I am a woman with a long dress and a gitabaya. They use alcohol. They use alcohol.
So you are
main reason being, then I don't know whether they do it now, but then I was a woman with a gitabaya and a long dress. They use alcohol to make their food. Will I be able to do that? That was a question in the interview.
Wow.
So when I answered no, of course I was disqualified.
Yes, that's a good one.
Right. I was disqualified. And so of course that killed my dream. And as I said, the same time that I was pursuing going to the Utali, everyone else who was gonna go to the university was pursuing that. So I lost the chance. And so my next easiest thing to do at that time, can I just say it was a God thing? Because I was self-taught. I did not go to any tailoring school. Everything I got was all self-taught. And so it was the easiest thing to do. And I had people, I have a friend, her name is Lucy.
Yeah.
She's also a tailor in Thika. And she's the one who embraced me and kind of refined my course where I needed refining. And then she gave me to a lady we call Mama Juliet in Thika, who gave me a job. And so on the job, I got the on the job training as I was getting paid. And that's how I became a full-blown tailor.
Yes.
Right. So from that point on, I can say I became a very successful tailor in such a way that I was able to go to, every time I went to Nairobi, I would, I'm going to use the word steal or copy. I would copy or steal all the best designs, and those designs are the ones I would make for my clients, for my clients, and that's how I became a successful tailor. So when I came to when I got married, I brought that with me, and that's why it was an easy transition all along. Right.
Oh, wow, that's very good. Okay, somebody is asking. You know, there's a lady called Nancy Ngugi. She says, I come from Kamunyaka. Nancy Ngugi, she's online. And then we have somebody called Leonard Mushai. This is serious. God is able, and this is the Lord's doing. Mary Njuguna said, oh gosh, really? Because she's like, I don't know. Okay, somebody called Jenga. He's a pastor. He's asking, ask for me the treatment of Duchenne. Duchenne, Duchenne. I don't know. I've never heard of that.
Duchenne muscle dystrophy. I don't know whether that's what she's asking for. Duchenne muscle dystrophy.
I think so. I don't know.
I don't know. They can probably elaborate. Even though we are not going to talk about treatments in the show, it's not today. We can talk about that later on.
Yeah, that's. Okay, now tell us, how are you able to maintain your faith? Now, Utari has said, you said, I cannot use alcohol to cook. You are denied a chance. How are you able to maintain your faith in the United States of America since you came?
There are things I speak now, knowing what I know. And I'm going to give you an analogy. Those people who play darts, they know how to aim because the darts have marks or rings. In other words, what I'm trying to say is, when you don't have an aim, they say you will surely hit it. When you don't have an aim, you will surely hit it. Why? Because you can hit the wall on the other side. You still hit because you didn't have an aim or a goal.
Yes.
So I think the most important thing in maintaining my faith was born early on, because when you are a child who's been through trauma, you know very quickly when you're not fitting. And you start looking for truth, for the next truth. So I started looking for truth very early on. And I was okay with leaving something or transitioning from one to the other if to me it did not present the truth I was looking for.
Wow. Okay.
And so I became principled very early on. And so it is through getting those principles and understanding what it is that I needed that landed me to the faith that I have been in right now. And all the principles that have helped me maintain it. Now, it is not easy. I'm not going to tell anybody that it's easy to maintain a getabaya and a long dress in America. But people mistake who God is or where he is. I'm not going to go into what just came to my mind right now. But God is everywhere. We call him omnipresent. But we mistake that, oh, you left Kenya. America is too far. How have you been able to maintain? No, I just left Kenya, but the God who was keeping me in Kenya happened to also be in America.
Very, very true.
The truth that I believed in Kenya. See, I do not believe in a denomination. I have to tell you that. I believed in truth. I believed in God. And that truth and that God also happened to be in America. And so it was not, I don't think it was hard once you knew the truth and once you're principled. If you understand who your God is, it becomes easier. Right.
Yeah.
So
when you went to school, did you have issues when you came to America going to school? Did they have issues with?
By the way, this is, unless it's changing now, because there are some things that are happening that are talking about the right to religion or things like that. This happens to be the place where the right to religion is completely, you're free to practice any religion, your religion. Wow. So anywhere I went, as long as, by the way, I have my passport picture in my guitar buyer and my long dress. I have my ID pictures in my guitar buyer and my long dress. Everywhere I have been. Why? Because you when you know your principles, anybody coming to you telling you something else, you just need to tell them who you are.
True.
And they're going to respect that. Exactly. So we can I just say defend our faith? You know, they have said so many times, oh, we don't dress like this here, we don't dress like this here, we don't dress like this here. And even if that happens, there's a verse in the Bible that says, but there is also another way you can also defend yourself. And I'm saying that to say there were places, but I just spoke my faith and I just told them, and they were like, okay, that's it. So all the way to grad school. All the way to grad school, which took a few years, I have been the way I am.
Wow, that's good. I think we are running almost short of time. Nataka tuguze kidogo. After your diploma, how did you climb the ladder to do the doctorate? Kidogo,
Okay. I think we talked about this a little bit. After my diploma, I realized that what I wanted to do was bigger than just a diploma. And again, I told you people that my propelling power was stronger because I was looking for something to numb my pain. And in the process of numbing my pain, I was getting my reassurance. You're not who they think you are. So when I got the diploma, I had to go back and become something else or somebody else because I was still living in somebody else's definition of me. You see? So that's when I went back to Kennesaw State University in Georgia. And I became, I got my Bachelor's of Science in Nursing. After which, again, I mentioned that after working in 5 hospitals and realizing that we are not helping most of our patients, I got the calling to go back to school so I can heal my patients. That is when I went to Maryville University. It's in Missouri. And I did both together. Now, this is crazy. This is why people thought I was crazy. And they thought, they kept, my friends, those people who are close to me always kept asking me, how do you do it? How do you do it? But then I told them, if only you knew my propelling power. If only you knew what I've been through, it would not be hard at all. So Missouri, I did together the master's and the doctorate. I combined them and crushed the whole thing. Again, graduated with a 4.0, and God is still good.
Wow. That's a very interesting story. I know, Dr. We have a long way to go, but somebody is asking me here, how do you deal with the white patients? Somebody says they don't like the black doctors. Is that true?
For whatever amazing reasons, and I am so glad that is who I am.
Yeah.
I think it's because I found there was potential in me, and the potential had been proven.
Yeah. Because
so many of these white people have tried to go to school and they couldn't.
Yeah.
They have tried to achieve what the level that we have achieved, they couldn't.
Yeah.
That kind of proved me right, as improved me that I can do anything I wanted. And so it never dawned on me. It never dawned on me that somebody could discriminate me because of my color.
Wow.
Like I never thought about that. So when I dealt with anybody and everybody from that point on, I dealt with anybody and everybody as a human being. It never dawned on me that somebody was going to discriminate. Even if I ever was discriminated, I didn't even realize it because it was not in my mind.
Wow.
Right.
Now, because I think you have a long way to go. We have a long way to go. I think this should be our part 1 because tumeguza juju to daktari. And because I want people to know you are Mr. Suleiman.
Yeah.
Come, join, and say hi to the people. At least watu wamjue mume wako. Kuna watu walikuwa nasema nidona kairetu ule. Kama kimenya ne kale mwene. Mr. Solomon, how are you?
Fine, how are you?
I'm good, brother, and you?
No, you just sit. I will stay here. Hey, habari.
How are you doing?
Doing good. I decided to join the thing. Hiki masomo yenu.
Ndokimera we mukulima uri maga America waumire kwanyu na githomo kia ukulima na uri maga.
Of course, I'm a farmer in America. And as you heard from the doctor, we are from a small village called Kamunyaka in Gator North. She met me there, and I was doing my farming there. So, and I'm still a farmer here, and we are doing well.
By the way, niki ukuragia guku ni ndo wakuragia marenge.
Hata leo ninakusa marenge na nduma na ngwacĩ na every kind of things.
Ndukimera ni handite mbembe cigakura ri by the way.
Yes, na nĩngũmenderia mabebe tondũ ndirĩ ng'ombe.
No,
and as you heard, I'm a witness of what Lucy is talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Together we have raised 3 teenagers. And so far we are doing good here in Seattle.
So you have 3 children?
Yes, together.
We got 1 citizen. We have 1 American citizen. Alfred, his name is Alfred.
Yes.
1 child was born here.
Yes.
Wow, lovely, lovely. Mr. Suleiman, can you give us a small story? Because I need us to have part 2 whereby we are going to be one-on-one. And lazima tuende kwa shamba yako waone venye unalima kidogo kuku, alafu sasa tuingie. I think that should be next week, God willing.
Yes.
Can you tell us how you came to a point that you want to start farming na ukaanza kuuza malenge, ukaanza kuuza ndoma, and you are doing that in Georgia, taking them with your truck?
Yeah, we have been doing this together with the doctor. She loves farming too. And every time I go to the samba, tunakuaga pamoja, we agreed on that. So we are not doing this at the Negotogena base, but that farming is one of the best thing today. Mugeko kulimane kueda. So adoma itali na pesticides kana itudariega no bere mirere yaku. Todo bigi fama kuragia make na thiko nigetha agie bia na beotigerwo thina mwiri. In order to avoid all those GMOs, you have to do something. Na nikio tweire ikinya ria kurima. Uguo tutirimaga America nigetha tuone mbeca. There are so many ways of making money here in America. But during lesser time, tunakuanga wakulima. So tunuangi vegetables.
Lovely.
Yes.
Now, Dagitari.
Yes, please.
Back to you now. Can you say hi? Part 2. I think part 2 will be like the real you now in America, because this is farming. You both of you farming, but the real you now in America is that we want it to be in part 2. We'll get some of what you're doing, know what you're doing, what you're trying to train and teach people, because I know umeongea mambo ya health sana. Hiyo nataka tutaiguza next time, because I know your calling is to save our people. Maybe your last words, combining that one can fight the trauma and come out of it. Maybe you can say in like 3 minutes.
I think the most important thing, as the name of your show is, storms of life are not permanent. That's very important to know. And I am a living testimony of that. They are not permanent. But for those people who have been through childhood trauma, which is very important, you have to get to a point where you heal that trauma and you stop living as per other people's definition of you, and you start living your life, because it is from that point on, I call it knowing yourself. You have to get to a point where you know yourself, because it is at that point your life or your life begins. So that is very important into analyzing what is true around you, because it is at that point that you change your trajectory. Your trajectory in life completely changes. So you're not proving yourself anymore. Enough of proving yourself. Sorry?
You have used a terminology nikafurut.
Trajectory. Sorry. It's like you change. So in the process of living your life, based on what other people define you, you're making your purpose. Everybody here, everybody in life has a purpose. And until we know what that purpose is, we are going to be frustrated in life. You start knowing your purpose when you know yourself, or at least you have a clue of who you are. Okay, so it is when you get to that point that living your purpose begins. And when you start living your purpose, pain and suffering lessens. It becomes less. Right, because when you're living a life that is defined by others, there is a lot of pain in achieving. And we'll mention this probably next time, that even after becoming a doctor, you still look back and see a lot of pain because that was not your life. You are living somebody else's life.
Yes.
But now it is understanding that it is not about becoming a doctor. I'm very thankful. I'm very thankful for what my choice of numbing pain was.
Yes.
Because as many others have chosen other things, I could have chosen other things too.
True.
But I'm very thankful to God and my path and everybody who's been in it.
Yeah.
Because as I spoke this in my graduation, as I get the medal, everyone else who's been in my journey is also a medalist.
Wow.
Because they have played a part and parcel in my life, in my journey, for me to be.
Whether painful or good, wonderful.
Whether painful, good or bad, it is our, all those good or bad are our descriptions.
Yes.
We give what we go through those titles. That was good, that was bad. No, that was life. That is what we call trajectory. That was your life. That was your journey. You needed that which you call good and that which you call bad to define who you become.
Wonderful. Wow.
So everyone becomes a winner, even those enemies we so call.
That's a powerful. I think that one tutaongea zaidi next Sunday, God willing, if God is going to have time, because most of the people are saying like, this is very wonderful. Somebody says he's called Dr. Kenyanjui. Alaga Suleimani, don't attack Gonete Hadu. I was working in the hospital between 2000 and 2001.
At 2001?
2000 and 2001. He was working in Gatondo Hospital in 2000 and 2001.
I think Nyake Joey, Nemosi.
By the way, he's also a doctor. He's a surgeon now.
By the way, my son was admitted in Gatondo Hospital 2001.
Lovely. Like
for almost a week.
Yeah.
Maybe
that's a possibility.
He was one of my son's doctors.
I don't know.
Hey.
Wow, you are a beautiful doctor.
I earned that title a long time ago.
And tell them behind every successful woman there is a Superman. Bye.
Sorry?
Sarume Jerry Koiga perfectly said. Kamau Jr. is still watching. Samson Joroge Koiga, thanks, bye. Very happy to hear that. Estan Delitu Akauga, inspiring. And Nancy Gogia Kauga, I agree.
By the way, Dr. Lucien Yarigane Onekura on Andale food, yet Magasiavi Menani got to Masiarume. In that little village, you can't toilet more that they were doing Namori doing.
To hear your life story in your Guinea Moi Karagamuka. We will need to know about you guys. It's good. It's somebody saying lovely couple. So
thank you.
Angela is my niece. Alauga very powerful. Waiting on part 2. Sarume Jerry Mugaidi Adwashio Muno Niaguito Kam Kamnya. Now Ogina Kamunya Kamutrimuna.
As you know, Oceanuaro go with to Kwasa my sister Nenina Mukuru.
Ogina Kwanyuti Mautri Koga Timanafara.
Duda Nekogete, not to Kumaku, to Miraku Bere Kaigirete. By the way, I was doing Kebaki's campaign before Natutia Tigre Girete. No, do those you know, Ecorete. but kuri o tu maundu gutari.
All right.
Tuingia.
Ikirathimo muno as we are preparing to go to church. Thank you so much, Doctor. Reke tumatigire hau nigetha part 2 makamenya next what about part 2. God bless you so much.
Thank you so much.
Na matumbi ukirere nguku biũ matumbi maingĩhe nigetha andũ arĩa moka makauga ũkameraga ũkaikia mũnyaka gũkũ Seattle.
Ni magoka part 2 ndimwire I'm a farmer, I'm a businessman, and I'm a doctor too.
Thank you. See you guys.
Thank you so much.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.